Hi, live from the Situation Room in what I'm gonna call the new White House over here. I've been telling people I'm Welsh American for a while. It's kind of like Irish American, but it's Welsh American. Because the population at large here in the UK, I've found, I mean, even when they're friendly with me, the first thing they want to know is my accent, because, well, a lot of people who aren't friendly seem to have the attitude, why are you still here? There's a lockdown. And some people, I think, assume that I just got off a plane or something, I'm a tourist, and not wearing a mask because I'm exempt, but what's my train of thought? Just all the negativity, I guess. I mean, I have to push it out. That's what you have to do. I tell people all the time, because I move through life as if I have no worries. And I tell people not to worry. Hakuna Matata means no worries for the rest of our days. It's a problem-free philosophy. It's the way I've lived my life. But I tell people all the time, I mean, I have thousands of things that I could be worried about. Of big things. Big things. I mean, I'm still grieving, too. Jesus. Hannah died a month ago. I didn't know it'd be the last time I saw her when I saw her. She warned me the police are still all over the place. They're watching everything. Homelessness. Not everyone knows it, but I'm homeless. I'm in room 204 of the Royal Albion. I'm just that honest. You know? And I don't think anyone's gonna hurt me with CCTV all over the place and all over this island. Everywhere. Everything's on camera. I keep saying, you know, well, as they say, the truth will set you free. And like, just release all the tapes. Release all the body-worn cams. Release all CCTV. Let's see it. And SA already looks at everything, you know. The hackers, I'm sure, look at everything. I'm sure there are people that have been aware of me. I would just be watching. Oh, he's outside again. I mean, one of the times I got arrested for missing my sign-on by 1 hour. I was about an hour into missing that thing, and I was looking after Chris's stuff because he was homeless. I had a sleeping bag. He didn't come back. Lost track of time a little bit. Maybe the sun was away. They didn't have a charged phone. I'm homeless. And looking after everyone else I know. Everyone I know, if they're honest with themselves, knows I've been looking after them out there on the streets. Been trying to look after everybody my whole damn life. But yeah, I could use some help right now. I used my last 35 squid, which is £1 sterling, on one more night in this hotel. And now there's suddenly a lockdown, and I just saw on the telly on BBC, Caroline Lucas, MP of Brighton here, okayed this one, and I'm not against it. You know, I was saying all along, if you just do one of these things for a month and you're successful, just time out, stay at home, like I want to do here. Stay at home, watching BBC, or, you know, if it was my government, I would pay for Netflix for everybody for a month. I mean, shoot, the amount of resources that go into everything else is extreme. So what's that? 10 squid a household on average, you know. It wouldn't cost that much. I mean, even if every single, there's 67 million people here, so 670 million squid, one-time fee, even if everyone got their own account. That's not the way it works in households. You know, show this password, you know. Do an algorithm, figure out based on how many people share passwords. You know, on average. I mean, you can look at Netflix at its height and just kind of determine it off of that, you know. Its recent height. Just find out what it is, you know. How much does Netflix earn from the UK? I don't know, just whatever, you know. And some food, you know. Food deliveries. I mean, when first lockdown was coming around, they were talking about the army delivering food rations, basically. I mean, even it was that. I heard somewhere the UK has like 5 years worth of food rations, like cans and stuff. Just, you know, exhaust those for a month. Yeah, that's a shitload of food, you know. I've been eating rough for a month. So can you guys. Been eating real rough. I mean, I had Doritos and a block of cheese today, and sometimes I'm just squeezing salad cream on my finger. You know, low blood sugar sometimes. Jesus, the number of people that don't understand that. Oh, I gotta do my favorite song again. I don't know if I know one of these. I think I have.
And I know you have a heavy heart.
yeah, Caroline MP, Caroline Lucas, Green Party MP of Brighton, is, I mean, that's my constituency right there. You ought to be aware. And, you know, maybe the council could just consider this my quarantine room for lockdown, and it's only £35 a night. But until then, you know, I don't really want to risk it. If anybody, you know, maybe in the comments or something, I'll figure out a PayPal or a Kickstarter or something. But, you know, best thing for everyone is if I just stay right here and I'll just keep writing music. I was writing some new songs today. Let me see if I can remember. Couldn't remember what word to start on. It was about the view outside of this room. Sunny. Sunny seagulls dancing over the bright year. Swooping over sea life, where can a spreader cheer? What was next? Something. Oh, yeah. I was watching the U.S. election results on telly. BBC 2, I think it was. They had great coverage, seriously. It was very educational, too. I was telling people, I was watching, I mean, The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, geez, every night, as long as I was on, every night, God. But Stephen Colbert, at some point, had a segment, Get to Know a District, or Better Know a District. And they would just pick, I mean, Jesus, well, there's 50 states, first of all. Everyone says American, or New Yorkers are just, Americans are just. So there's 50 states, and they're all very different. And I mean, look at the election. Some states, it's mail-in voting, and they have 3 days to, if you postmark it by the 3rd, then it can be counted up until the 6th. Just make sure you pick a service that's going to get there in time is the underlying rule. If you're way out there, you know, make sure you know your post service. And hopefully that's funded. Oh, yeah, every state's different. And then a lot of cities are liberal. Colorado Springs kind of sticks out as a city that's a conservative city, but it's also in a state with Denver and Boulder. Lived in both of those. DC itself is, I mean, DC legalized marijuana, cannabis. In addition to, and the 5 new states yesterday legalized, I think including Arizona. There's 5 new states that legalized. Colorado was the first. Not to make it all about weed, though I was talking to someone recently and they were just, I just don't like how they're treating it just like a drug, but I mean, even weed culture, I've noticed here, a lot more people are very selfish, whereas in Colorado, I'm used to someone loading a bowl and saying, dude, you're having a rough day, man, you have greens. I'm thinking about my friend Scott, who's type 1 diabetic as well, you know, same as Hannah was. So, yeah, where was I? Sorry, I'm rambling on this one. Better sing a song. I sing election returns. Is it the coffee? Or is it tea? Oh, jeez. Spliff in my hands, but jeez, you know, this is why I should have just recorded that earlier. Point is, oh man, it was because I was saying, is it me or is it us? Sometimes tea and a split. Is it me or is it us? You pricks. And then mean, George Carlin had that shit, piss, fuck, cut, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits list. And then tried to whittle it down. That's a good segment, but geez, the number of people who've gotten so offended with language, I'm ready to just use almost all of it. I mean, there's still a couple things I will not use. I feel like you should bring them up. Morgan Freeman once famously said, when asked again what to do about racism, finally he snapped back and he said, "Stop fucking talking about it." And it seems counterintuitive. But ask him what he means about that, I think I get it. As I'm talking about it. So, but how many ways does it need to be said? Live and let live, let sleeping dogs lie, do unto others as you have done unto yourself. I've been asked before if I'm a Christian, and I said, well, I was raised going to church, and most of it is just in one ear and out the next, because there's only a couple things, and you don't need to go back and talk about them every Sunday. Just do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. And the second thing I would take from that was it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Well, I mean, I've been saying for a while too, it just makes sense to me that you have heaven on earth and you have hell on earth right now, depending on your mindset, at all times, in high school, one of our principals, I think it was Thomas Nichols, was it? He did the morning announcements, and I think he was a football coach. And he always say, you rattle through, oh, and then prom coming up, and I want everybody to know that you are not to wear your prom outfits all week. And reminder to the seniors, senior prank day is not a good idea. And don't forget exams at the same time. And the Blackhawks will be taking the field Friday night against North Stafford. And anyways, as I always say, make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. And everybody groaned Mr. Nichols, not again. Make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. It'll sound all grandiose, and people just were but fuck's sake, isn't that true? Like I said earlier, I have so many reasons to be upset. And I just don't want to spend my life that way. It's a choice. And people ask me over all this time, or they'd say it's not a switch, and I'm like, well, it is a switch. Solve the switch. I tell people sometimes it's like having a Game Shark, at N64, like having GoldenEye, and you can beat the game on harder and harder settings to unlock some cool cheats, or you can get a Game Shark. Take the GoldenEye out, pop the Game Shark in, GoldenEye on top, and then you'd have to get a code book. You still have to do some research. I used to do a little research, and well, when I first got that, my mom was horrified because all my friends were playing it, and I was like, yeah, it's so James Bond, GoldenEye, and she was thinking the movies and the books and stuff, and intellectual, save the world, crime stopping drama in a game though. And then she sees, and it's just going around. Well, but I mean, it was, lots of logical intelligence involved if you play multiplayer and you're throwing proximity mines around. I got 3 proximity mines, I got 2 remote mines, and if I blow them here, I can like escape through the air ducts and come out this way, and when they spawn over there, have those remote mines out. Know where the ammo is, and a lot of games are like that. But maybe to please her, turn that cheat code on for the golden gun, which seems like a real cheat, but then it just, I mean, if you've already enjoyed the game, and just want to play through it again, just one shot. It's just like, just don't worry, I'm not here for the killing and the blood, man. Just move through. There's always many ways you can look at anything. I always say that's the beauty of life. It's like Apple headquarters. It's one infinite loop. Oh. Reminds me of a good one that Hannah always reminded me of. And a lot of people on this one. Life is just a spark in space, an episode of Will and Grace. Controversial yet mundane, Deborah's messing with your brain. Even Scientologists know there's more to all of this. Search the ruins for trapdoors, find out what you're put here for. Simple as a hint of gas, climbing nostrils as you pass. Making Harvard graduates feel childish when they laugh at it. So climb the rungs to kingdom come, from Sour Patch to Acid Tongue. Are you opposed to having fun? Don't clench the world between your buns. Your life was always the post of something else. So where's the present in the way that you present yourself? It's disgusting how little that should try. The existential equivalent of pink eye. So drink alone and watch TV. You're expecting harmony to tap your tune to silver spoons. The anthem of impending doom, guiding Satan's steady hand, forcing Beatles to disband. It's ego freaks and drama queens. The young at heart know what I mean. So, yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Because I figure if I'm going to end up, homeless on the streets again, and people are threatening me with lots of violence, how did that happen? I tell you what, call the wrong person a cunt. Maybe that's how it happened. Sorry. Maybe it was a bad day that you were having when I called you a cunt, because I was making the choice to have a great day. How many of you did I call cunts? Oh, sorry. Oh no, there's so many. Oh, one infinite loop reminded me of that. Life is just a spark in space. It's one of the things I often catch myself talking about is if all of this can exist in its infinite wonder and complexity, the Imaginarium, geez. How many people waste that? Have an imagination. Looking at what's going on in the world with COVID, it gives you a lot to ponder. And the U.S. election, there's so much to analyze. So many different ways you can look at everything. I encourage all of it. But if all of this and it's, wow, my goodness, and that's before you even start trying drugs and psychedelics and stuff, then what's the simplest thing that you can imagine as well? I don't know why. I mean, I said it's so hard to wrap your mind around, but just infinite nothingness. Before there was anything. Given an infinite amount of time in an infinite void, infinite. Eventually, there would have been something, and the smallest something would have been a little. It's my hand lighter right now. A little, an attempt at a fucking flame, but no fucking gas. Just without that, it's one of those, sometime must have been something, but the smallest fucking something you can imagine, the little fart in space, and would have coalesced in matter, given an infinite amount of time, would have happened again, and these two would have been attracted to each other. Joined together, and hydrogen goes to helium. I'm just saying, give it an infinite amount of time. I mean, these things, conscious awareness in some form. Consciousness, I would say, is awareness and response. You have entangled particles that can communicate instantaneously over any distance. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. And to me, that means the fabric of space-time itself must be conscious. When you look at the double slit experiment, I mean, that's a doozy to wrap your head around, sure, but to me, it's just simply it's a lesson in your own consciousness. I mean, if you are watching the experiment, then you see the particle go through, and so you must see it as it chooses one slit or the other, and you know. So that's the distribution you see, particle distribution. But if you're not watching, and that's because your brain has the information to show that, to project that out to you. That's what it makes sense of, that's what you see. But if you're not looking, your brain doesn't know what to show you. So when you look and it puts everything together real fast, it shows you a wave distribution. And people went through the most elaborate Rube Goldberg kind of contraptions I've ever seen, trying to break this thing. Like, well, all these mirrors here, and then, well, cameras, right? Or thought experiments that would like break it. But that's missing the point. Your mind is just projecting. I mean, we know it's just energy around us. We know birds and dogs and spiders experience the world differently. We're not special, we're just highly evolved. I mean, so are dolphins and whales. I mean, we have vestigial traits from ocean life. I tell people all the time, there's one. X-ray vision, Just go around looking at the world as brains with a spinal cord, and those brains have an experience to report. And if you start looking at people that way, I mean, you're not literally using X-ray vision. You still see the world the same, but act that way at least, I do. And then we don't even need to talk about racism, do we? We're all playing a video game with a randomly assigned avatar. And you can't change it. I mean, I guess you could, if you want to spend the money, you can change this or that. If you can't choose it, can we all fucking get over it already? I mean, I would surely, I don't know, maybe I want to look like George Clooney. Can't? What am I going to do? Cry about my whole life? Or I always say kill yourself or get over it. Well, yeah. Kill yourself, hope you come back as, as something better looking. That's probably a good reason you come back someone's worse looking. If there's truth, reincarnation, or anything at all, then there is a creator. There is something pumping you back in. That's surely just like, oh, why am I making it hard on you? Oh, my other favorite ones is Godspeed Ahead. Always, if you've seen me in Brighton, especially if you've been nice to me, I'm sitting there home like North Street outside the co-op. Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna share all of this. Thank you. Wow, I really appreciate it. Godspeed Ahead, I always say. A lot of times people are like, they're just, no? Just like I was. I tell them the first time I heard that, I was 3 years old. I don't know who said it. It might have been my dad. This is the part where I say, Godspeed Ahead. 3, 2, 1. And I'm over there like, what was that you said? And he's like, Godspeed Ahead? It's like, well, now that you said it a second time that way, fuck's sake, what can I use that on? Whatever you want. And I'm like, within reason. Within reason. Good thing I heard that last bit. Godspeed Ahead, I always say. Somebody said that made me sound like Trump, because I think Trump would say that. Let's come to the White House. Trump says Godspeed Ahead, so fuck you for. I'm like, what? Maybe that's one of the good things he's doing. If he's saying Godspeed Ahead, well, Godspeed Ahead. I don't know. I like it. I'm not a Christian. I told you I'm apolitical and a-religious. It's just in fairness and justice. The law of karma. I tell people all the time it's a chaos theory. It's a butterfly effect. You're out there doing bad shit, flapping your wings. You're a fucking pterodactyl. What goes around comes around, you know? And eventually, I mean, fuck's sake, you know, like I said, CCTV and wiretaps and all that shit. I mean, someone knows everything. You know? Someone's keeping tab. Someone's keeping score. But on the positive end, you know, every little good action you do, you know. Butterfly effect is, the butterfly flaps its wings in Tokyo, set off a tornado in Kansas. So, yeah, every chance you get in your life, you're trying to help people around you. Well, you can have some positive effects. Anyway, I can go on, but honestly, I'd rather have a conversation with someone about this stuff. You know, that'd be fun. So, till then, I would say if anybody wants to help fund my bid for the White House in 2024, starting by allowing me to keep my Situation Room here as my second lockdown quarantine home for this lockdown that it goes from remember the 5th of November to December, roughly a month long here. Yeah, no, maybe you can just call the Royal Albion. They have a 24-hour front desk. It's 35 pound sterling a night. 35 pounds, 35 squid a night. Even if someone could just get me one night, should say, give me some time to plan, you know. Anyways, more to come next time. We'll see. We'll see. Thanks for watching.